From the L.B. Smith Ford Lincoln Studios, Oldies 102.9 is WHYL Carlisle.
It's time now for the Real Estate Radio Guy with real estate broker John Rainville. For the next hour, you'll learn everything about national real estate topics, trends, and news revolving around Central PA. It's sponsored by EquityPrime Mortgage, Enviroquest Inspections, and SearchHomesInPA.com. And now, here's the Real Estate Radio Guy, John Rainville.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. We've got a lot of topics today. Action-packed for you. We're going to be talking today about JamesField Manor, a very exclusive new home subdivision in Manheim. We're going to be talking about Radon later in the second half hour with John Staz, and market do's and don'ts with Kinglsey here. And also at the end of the show, we're going to wrap up today with 4 reasons fall's the time to buy. Kinglsey, would you check this?
Good morning. How you doing out there? Getting into fall, there's a lot of things that we can be looking at in the market, obviously, and falling a little bit outside the norm is going to be, I think, some of these higher end homes. And I think we have a caller coming on here this morning to talk a little bit more about that, don't we?
We do. And if you have any questions today, feel free to call into us at 717-249-1787. But while we're waiting for Mike and Scott to give us a call in here, we'd like to talk to you, give you 4 reasons fall is the time to buy a home. And it's really a great time, guys, but the prices are going to continue to rise. CoreLogic's latest home price index reports that home prices have appreciated by 5.7% over the last 12 months. And that same report predicts that prices will continue to increase over the next year. So it's just a fantastic time. Prices are going up. Mortgage rates are projected to increase. So, you might want to get a call into EquityPrime then and find out where the rates are. But they're at a very low level, and it makes it much more affordable right now. And either way, you're going to be paying a mortgage. Whether you're paying your landlord's mortgage or you're paying yours, you might as well take advantage of the low rates. And if you've just been hanging around out there wondering whether you should move up, move down, or what you should do, well, it's time to get on with your life and start to move on with things. Fantastic time to buy.
Hey, and as we get started on this show, I want to make sure that you guys, if you haven't gotten on the Facebook, I'm sure some of you guys are, follow us at the Real Estate Radio Guy on Facebook. We'll have some interesting topics going up there as well as what we'll be talking about in the coming weeks. And we have some great surprises coming up over the next few weeks. So make sure you follow. We're going to have some tickets to give away to certain events in the coming months. And also on my Facebook account, it's EquityPrime PA. You can also follow me on Twitter at EquityPrime PA. We've got a lot of good topics to talk about. And also, if you've got something you guys want to talk about, please feel free. Post a comment, ask a question, and you can always call onto the radio show, too, if you've got any questions.
Another thing is if you message me on Facebook at the Real Estate Radio Guy, we have our new fall buyers and sellers guides out, and I'd be thrilled to send that out to you by email or by regular mail. So when you have a chance, go to our Facebook site and private message me. Be thrilled to get this stuff out to you. And is Mike on yet? All right, so we're going to be bringing on Mike McDermott and Scott Leibowitz from Brokers Realty, who are representing JamesField Manor in Manheim. Mike, are you there?
Tell him he'll have to call back.
I guess Mike's going to have to call back in. I can tell you, while we're waiting for Mike to call back in, the next week we're going to have Bill and Louise Frundell, and they're going to be talking about E.G. Stoltzfus in the Winding Hills in Mechanicsburg. So lots of things are in the works here. Right now, okay, so Mike's back. Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us, guys?
Yes, Earth to the moon.
All right, we're back out of technical Hades.
All right, buddy. So, hey, I know you and Scott have got this luxury home community listed, which is like no other. Can you give us sort of an idea what you have going out there?
Yeah, it's a pretty fantastic and unique idea. What they've taken is about 40 acres in Rappo Township, a real quiet area near Manheim Central Schools. And there are 7 luxury building lots, anywhere from about 2.5 acres up to 20 acres. It's just a fantastic piece of property. There's a pond and a wharf on one of the lots. What they're trying to do is recreate an 18th and 19th century style of home. Ultimately, they're looking at some Cape Cod and Nantucket style. Yet they're open to some other plans, looking to kind of turn back the wheels of time in an idealistic little setting. You can have horses, domestic animals, sheep, things of that sort.
So, Mike, what are the sizes of the lots out there?
They run the 6 of the lots are anywhere from about 2.5 acres to about 2.8 acres. Those would be lots 1 through 6. And lot 6 those are 6 of the 7 lots. And then the 7th lot is 20.29 acres. They all have, rolling greens and overlook some really nice farmland and hills to the south. But one of the nice things about this enclave is there's extremely limited development potential in Rappo Township. They go by sort of a credit system that you get so many home credits or development credits per acre. So around you, there's going to be almost a guarantee of no subdivisions. So it's going to be really, really quiet. Neighbors on the land. There's even a small herd of Scottish Highland cattle that really bring you back into the times.
Now, we've posted on our Facebook page, Real Estate Radio Guy, the video that you guys put up, a fantastic drone overview of the property. And then I know on your Facebook page, which is, is it the hills at JamesField Manor?
The hills of JamesField Manor.
Okay.
That would be on the Facebook page of it, yes.
And there you actually have a video there that's actually where you guys went ahead and just drove through the neighborhood so you could get a real feel, just as if you're looking in your car driving right through. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, and we thought that it was a good way to bring the potential buyers or the public into what's actually happening. It's a little difficult to conceptualize raw land, and what they've done here with some of the firmware and the hardscaping is just incredible. Just to looking at it, it's unlike any other piece of land in Lancaster County.
So I know that there's like a community barn, and then people are allowed to also put up outbuildings on these properties, correct? Right.
They're really promoting the period-specific outbuildings. And they did a very nice job of putting one representation up of a spring house or a pump house that is down by Lot 6. And, just for a little more information, you can always just text Hills to the number 79564. Lots of pictures up there, and kind of explains the period specificness and some of the things that are going on there.
So right now, are you locked into a builder? Is that open? Can someone bring their own builder to you?
Right now, it's open to any builders, but we are looking to partner up with some period-specific builders. We know there's one out of Vermont that's been on This Old House, been featured quite a bit and quite extensively in some of the older period magazines and on TV. They fit right in with our concept because these newer homes are modern and almost panelized, so they're extremely energy efficient and green. And that's something else that we want to go with here as well, is to keep the modern amenities and the green movement going while bringing people back into a simpler time.
So that's sort of the best of both worlds there. We can have the beauty of the old home, but have today's amenities, I'm assuming, with the high energy efficiency, modern materials, low maintenance, and still have that killer kitchen, right?
Correct. And one of the things that they're going to be big on is geothermal, which is extremely efficient. So that's also a good green concept that they're going with as well.
Mike, so I know we're going to be well in septic out there. Is it approved for sand mounds, or did standard systems get approved out there? What do you have going on?
Standard systems out there. So the sand mounds should not be an issue.
That's fantastic. Is there a square footage requirement there? What's the smallest house I can build out there?
That's going to be open to some architectural review, and they're very easy to work with. They just want to make sure that we're going to be period specific. That you're going to put up something that's going to look in harmony with the neighborhood. They're recommending about a 2,000 square foot, 2,800 square foot total home, 2,000 square foot on the first floor. And
there's also like a community barn out there. What can you tell me about that?
Right now there's a restored 18th century barn that the developer is he's got it all decked out. It's really cool. He kind of uses that just for some private parties and uses that for his own little system. I'm not sure that that's going to become part of the community when all is said and done, but we're probably going to be utilizing that for some events. We'd like to pair up with some local businesses, even thinking bring it onto the community in a more public environment. That'd be an excellent place to launch that from.
And I know it's a gated community, but right now somebody, if they want to stop out today and take a drive through there, really the infrastructure is already in. I know I've already seen some of the beautiful landscaping that they've done in the common areas. And if someone wanted to reserve a lot today, could they call you today and reserve a lot?
They could give me a call at 874-7771. Little plug there. But yes, if they go in through the Echo Valley Road, they could take a drive through and take a look at this beautiful piece of land. They can give us a call. They can hit, text Hills to 79564. They could look at our website, which is really nice, JamesFieldManor.GreatLuxuryEstates.com, or just give anyone in the broker's family a call. We'll be happy to help you out.
Mike, I don't think a lot of our listeners know exactly what you mean when you're saying text, Hills to 79564. What are they to expect when they do that?
Okay, it's just like texting any other phone number, and you just put the number, the 2, if you're just like you're texting your mother, but you would put in the number 79564, and what you would write is just HILLS, and what you would get is the mobile version of the website, which would show you the directions, all of the pictures, all the verbiage, some information on costs. It's a really nice little feature that people like. If you're driving through, you just text the number, it comes to your mobile phone, and you get all the information you need.
So it sounds like you have some high-tech marketing with old-school homes.
Exactly, and that's a lot of what we're going to do. In the market, We've seen an increase of about 18% in the luxury home market this year versus last year in Lancaster County, and a lot of the trend is going to be toward, I guess, hyper-local marketing, where we really dive into the demographics of our buyer and our consumer and reach them through some really cool technology. And that seems to be the wave of where things are going.
Okay.
A little bit about our clientele, looking up there, this is the second phase. They had a JamesField Manor first phase already, and a lot of the clientele are working at Hershey Med, Lancaster General. We've got attorneys and small business owners. We're only 30 minutes from Hershey Medical Complex, 30 minutes from Lancaster General, 30 minutes from Harrisburg. Even Baltimore is only 90 minutes away. Philly's less than 90 minutes. You're close to the Turnpike, 76, 283. Jumping over to Route 30 and 83 is a hop, skip, and a jump. It's really nice, and it's close, convenient on the East Coast. I know we have listenership all the way down into Baltimore. So any of you guys know any of the Ravens or any of the Orioles that are, we need one starter and 4 backups here to make this thing fly.
Hey, Mike, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more with you about price ranges, what the costs of the lots are, and exactly who you think your potential buyers are going to be. So if you just hang tight, we'll be back to you in a few.
Outstanding.
Buying or selling a home? For professional home inspection, call Enviroquest of Harrisburg. Their certified home inspectors will conduct a thorough inspection and provide a detailed report with many pictures. They'll explain the findings. Do you have elevated radon levels in your house? Call Enviroquest. They have fixed over 10,000 homes over the last 25 years. For a professional home inspection or radon mitigation, call Enviroquest at 233-6144, 233-6144, or visit Enviroquest online at evqharrisburg.com. That's evqharrisburg.com.
Hi, my name is John Rainville, a Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New York real estate broker and realtor. I'm your host for Real Estate Radio Guy. Our show is dedicated to local, state, and national real estate topics, trends, and news revolving around central Pennsylvania. We'll discuss the buying and selling process, mortgages, market conditions, property maintenance, commercial and investment real estate, and more. Real Estate Radio Guy is sponsored by EquityPrime Mortgage, Enviroquest Inspections, and SearchHomesInPA.com. Join us every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 on WHYL.
Buying or selling a home? For professional home inspection, call Enviroquest of Harrisburg. Their certified home inspectors will conduct a thorough inspection and provide a detailed report with many pictures. They'll explain the findings. Do you have elevated radon levels in your house? Call Enviroquest. They have fixed over 10,000 homes over the last 25 years. For a professional home inspection or radon mitigation, call Enviroquest at 233-6144, 233-6144, or visit Enviroquest online at evqharrisburg.com. That's evqharrisburg.com. At family-owned Click Lewis of Palmyra, you're part of the family. Get $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book on all trade-ins. That's any vehicle. Take a test drive and you have a chance to win Keith Urban tickets or Hershey Bears tickets. All certified pre-owned vehicles include a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for free. Visit ClickLewisCars.com for your next new or certified vehicle. Click Lewis at 720 East Main Street, Palmyra, where cars cost less.
Click Lewis in Palmyra. Buick Chevrolet. Click Lewis.
Okay, and we're back with Mike McDermott from brokersrealty.com, and we're discussing JamesField Manor, a project outside of Manheim in Raffo Township. Are you there, Mike?
I'm here.
Hey, some questions. A lot of developments have restrictions as to far as the exterior, what they call the front elevation.
Correct.
And do we have to have stone or any, brick, anything like that on the front elevation?
Stone, brick, clapboard cardboard reproductions. They want to keep it, substantially recreated from the 18th or 19th centuries. So there's a wide variety of things you could use. You could use brick. You could use stone. You could use, wood. So there's a few different options on that.
And so I'm sort of imagining, as I'm sort of picturing these homes now, during the breakout of time to think about this a little bit more. So we may actually have a standalone home with like a detached 3-car garage that may look like another type of building. Is that correct? Am I envisioning this correctly?
Absolutely. They're real big on the added outbuildings of the period. Carriage houses, spring pumps. Exterior gardens, exterior, root cellar structures, maybe second kitchens, summer kitchens, things of that sort.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was picturing. I do know last week we had Dave Shepard on from the Harrisburg Builders Association. So I was to an event of theirs this week, and I know a lot of their members are listening to the show because they told me they are. And I think they were sent out an email to listen to us. But I've got a feeling a lot of those guys may have interest as a builder being able to talk with you and Scott about possibly, taking a look and talk to you about maybe becoming a builder there in the project. And so the best number for you, for a builder to reach out to, is your cell phone, which is 717
874 7771.
Awesome.
And I welcome the opportunity to discuss the project with these guys. We're real open to builders and ideas.
So, Mike, price range. So, where do these lots start at price-wise?
They'll start at about $270,000 for the 2.5 acre, and the 2.56 acre is $389, and then lot 6, which is 20.29 acres, is the low price of $960,000. And that's got a pond on it, a wharf, and that already has one of the period-specific spring houses. And this work was already done by the developer Jim Keener, who also has Jim's Landscaping, which is a very, very exclusive landscaper in Lancaster County. He does probably one of the best jobs that I've seen in many, many years.
That explains the A-plus landscaping that I see in the videos.
There's no stone was left unturned in looking at the pictures. You look at the modern electrical boxes and things like that are all strategically covered with hardscaping and landscaping that you can hardly notice it. The runoff drains and the stormwater management, it all flows beautifully into the natural rolls and folds of the hills.
So it's obvious that we're not talking about starter homes unless you just hit the Powerball.
I don't know, unless you're a starter for the Ravens. Young guy just got his job down there. We'd be happy to help him out with a starter home. So
I'm sort of just using some basic real estate math here, and I'm coming up with we're probably looking to build from $900,000 to at least $3 or $4 or $5 million in there.
Yes.
Would that be accurate?
I would say that's very accurate, depending on the size of the house and the amenities that you're looking for. Yeah.
Now, another question just got popped up here. Is there a homeowners association there?
There's not an There's not a homeowners association, and there's no fee. But the road maintenance would be divvied up between all of the 7 owners.
Okay. So, and then who takes care of the pond? Is the barn was actually in another phase? Is that correct?
Correct. The barn is the finality of the first phase, and the pond is owned by Lot 6.
About how
they would have that in looking at some of the pictures, in the layout of the land, that would be in your front yard, and one of the building sites, and it's just a beautiful little way to wake up.
Mike, can we get your phone number again in case a builder would like to reach out to you guys and talk to you about possibly building out there, or someone that may want to come out and take a look at the lots and possibly reserve one? They won't know, I know, until they get out there and look.
Right. The number is 717-874-7771.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Hey, quick question for you. If you want to go over one more time what that website address was and what the Facebook account was, so that people can actually get online and look up this wonderful property.
Yeah, not a problem. On Facebook, it is at The Hills of JamesField Manor. The website is JamesFieldManor.GreatLuxuryEstate.com. I know that's a little long. Or they could just text the word Hills, Hills, to the number 79564.
Mike, just another question that just popped in my head. If a builder came and wanted to lock up the neighborhood and be the exclusive builder, is that something you think that the developer would be open to?
I think he'd be very open to that, and that way we could. I think it'd be good to keep a harmonious build throughout this subdivision. That would be very welcome.
And when is a good time for someone to come out and take a look at those lots? I know everything's clear; it's all clean and green right now. Are you available this weekend at all if they want to come out?
I'm available all weekend. If somebody wants to reach out, I'll be happy to show you what it is. We can walk the land, take a look at some of the proposed home sites, and spend a couple hours out there. I'd be happy to. Anybody can, day, evening, weekends, I'm available.
All right. Well, that sounds really, really good. We really appreciate you taking your time to come on the show and explain to us about this. We'll try and have you on here again as you guys start to get a house or two up.
Outstanding. Well, we appreciate the opportunity.
Very good. Have a great day, Mike. We'll talk to you again soon.
Have a great day, Pennsylvania.
We're going to go ahead and head into a break, and when we come back, I think we're going to have a little bit of discussion about Radon.
Searching for a home online morning, noon, and night, looking at website after website, clicking contact me and nobody does? Missed homes that were sold before you knew they were for sale? The better choice is searchhomesinpa.com. Search if you want, or they'll do it for you. Contact by phone, email, or text to adjust your search or to tour a property. Start online. They'll call you back at searchhomesinpa.com or call toll-free 855-919-HOME and they'll do it for you. Searchhomesinpa.com, 855-919-4663.
Hi, my name is John Rainville, a Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New York real estate broker and realtor. I'm your host for Real Estate Radio Guy. Our show is dedicated to local, state, and national real estate topics, trends, and news revolving around central Pennsylvania. We'll discuss the buying and selling process, mortgages, market conditions, property maintenance, commercial and investment real estate, and more. Real Estate Radio Guy is sponsored by EquityPrime Mortgage, Enviroquest Inspections, and SearchHomesInPA.com. Join us every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 on WHYL.
Searching for a home online morning, noon, and night, looking at website after website, clicking contact me and nobody does? Missed homes that were sold before you knew they were for sale? The better choice is searchhomesinpa.com. Search if you want, or they'll do it for you. Contact by phone, email, or text to adjust your search or to tour a property. Start online. They'll call you back at searchhomesinpa.com or call toll-free 855-919-HOME and they'll do it for you. Searchhomesinpa.com, 855-919-4663.
Hi, this is Kinglsey Harmer with EquityPrime Mortgage. EquityPrime is excited to announce its grand opening here in Central PA. EquityPrime Mortgage is an aggressive, direct lender licensed in 45 states and D.C. Join me as we discuss different topics such as qualifying, budgeting, and savings, and find out why we are able to offer better rates and qualify more clients. EquityPrime is currently hiring experienced loan officers in the Central PA area. If you feel you are qualified, please call 717-200-4800.
The world is in a big hurry, but Kaplan's Careful Cleaners can't change that. What Kaplan's Careful Cleaners can and will happily do is pick up and deliver your dry cleaning and laundry free of charge, saving you time to do more important things, like just about anything. You can use the extra time for yourself and those around you. Call Kaplan's today at 737-0572. That's 737-0572. Kaplan's Careful Cleaners, saving your time for more important things.
Welcome back. Hey, this is Kingsley with EquityPrime Mortgage. I'm here with John Rainville, obviously, and we just got done talking about a very exclusive neighborhood. Certainly sounds like this is not a house for the first-time home buyer. But with that being said, there are some steps for those that are looking to buy their first home. And one of the first things you want to do is obviously build your credit and get pre-qualified. And what does it take to get pre-approved or pre-qualified for a mortgage? Well, in many markets across the country, the amount of buyers searching for their dream home greatly outnumbers the amount of homes available for sale, especially, I know here in central Pennsylvania, where we're extremely low on inventory. And this has led to a competitive marketplace where buyers often need to stand out. So one way to show that you're serious about buying your dream home is to get pre-qualified or pre-approved for a mortgage before you start your search. And unfortunately, there are a lot of realtors out there that won't even talk to you unless you have that paper in hand. But even if you are in the market that's not as competitive as Central PA, knowing what your budget is will give you confidence to know how much of a dream home you can purchase and afford today. In fact, if you have any questions with regards to mortgages or exclusive neighborhoods where you can buy those homes, you can call into the radio show here at 249-1787. Again, that's 249-1787. Freddie Mac, in fact, lays out the advantages of pre-approval in the My Home section on their website. It's highly recommended that you work with your lender to get pre-approved before you begin house hunting. Pre-approval will tell you how much home you can afford and help you move faster with greater confidence in competitive markets. One of the many advantages of working with a local real estate professional is that many have relationships with lenders, EquityPrime, who will be able to help you with this process and understand what you can truly afford and what you can afford. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to go through a step-by-step process of how to be pre-approved, what to do, what not to do, and to be prepared so that when you are ready to buy, you won't have any hiccups in finding your dream home. Because the last thing you want to do in this market is find that house that you've always wanted and not be ready for it. So the first step in getting pre-approved for a mortgage not only is calling EquityPrime here in Central PA, and that's at 717-200-4800, but the first thing you want to make sure that you've got in place is your credit. And obviously that is a big step towards getting pre-approved for your mortgage. And how do we know what our credit's like? Well, one thing we can do if you're thinking about buying a home is to just call in. We'll be happy to do it. It's a free service, doesn't cost you anything. We can even put you in contact with a realtor afterwards that specializes in your particular market. But in general terms, obviously most of you already know, the higher credit that you have, the better interest rates you're going to get. The better interest rates you get, the more house you can afford. It's pretty simple as far as numbers. But credit doesn't just stop there at interest rate. Credit factors into many different parts of your budget on a daily basis. So let's take, for example, your mortgage in general. Your mortgage not only has principal and interest as far as payment, but it also has homeowner's insurance. Homeowner's insurance, if you haven't figured out yet, a lot of times, depending on the company, is actually based on your credit score. So the lower the credit score, sometimes the higher the rate you can have when calling up and getting a quote. With that being said, the higher your credit score, the lower the rate, which means your overall payment for that mortgage or for your house is lower, which means you can afford a bigger house and possibly a home in Manheim that's $2.5 million. Maybe not your first home, but you never know. And keep in mind, they do allow sheep out there in Manheim from what I recall. So with that being said, I think next week what we're going to do is we're going to delve into the credit process, how to monitor your credit, and how to fix your credit, or maybe little tips here and there to get your credit up. Yeah, I think, John, what do you got to say?
Well, Kingsley was giving you some good advice there on financing and mortgages. And a lot of people, I'm a realtor. I just got my 25-year realtor award at the Greater Harrisburg Association of Realtors on Wednesday. And, you really do need a professional when you're buying a home. Many people wonder whether they should hire a real estate professional to assist them in buying their dream home, or if they should just try and do it on their own. In today's market, you really need an experienced professional. You need an expert guide if you are traveling a dangerous path. The field of real estate's loaded with landmines. You need a true expert to guide you through the dangerous pitfalls that currently exist in the market. And, finding a home that is priced appropriately and ready for you to move into can be tricky. An agent listens to your needs and your wants, and we can sift throughout the homes that don't fit within the parameters of your dream home. I sort of look as a real estate agent or a realtor as a Sherpa in the market. Our job is to guide you along the path and make sure that you're kept safe and warm at night until you get the keys. And a lot of times, that's just done from experience. We're professional problem solvers. Also, when you're buying a house, you really do need a skilled negotiator to work on your behalf. In today's market, a talented negotiator can save you thousands, possibly tens of thousands of dollars, because here in Pennsylvania, we work as buyer's agents for the buyers and seller's agents for the sellers. So when we're working for you as a buyer's agent, we can help you renegotiate any offer after a home inspection, all the way through possible cancellation of a deal based on a troubled appraisal. You need someone who can keep the deal together until it closes, and that's really what we do as realtors. We're here to keep you safe, try and advise you our best, and ultimately do what you want us to do that's in your best interest. Bottom line, famous sayings become famous because they are true. You get what you pay for. Just like a good accountant or a good attorney, a good agent will save you money, not cost you money. And we're getting ready. John Staz should be coming on the line here, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Radon today. John, are you there?
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Oh, good. How about you?
Fantastic. Living the dream.
No doubt.
So we're going to be talking about radon here in Pennsylvania. Pretty common problem, John?
Yeah, we do find a lot around this area. We have the mountain range, Appalachian Mountains running through here, and it brings a good bit of it to this area just because of the geology of the area.
And, I've been in the business a long time. I remember when we used to have these things called charcoal canisters that got set, all through the house in order to capture the radon. Is that how the testing is still done today?
Yeah, the charcoal canisters, there's several technologies that are used. Charcoal canisters are definitely one of them. For real estate transactions, there's required testing in the basement. So it is nice to get the added feedback of the other levels of the house. But for real estate, depending on the makeup of the house, the lowest livable area, which means area that can be easily turned to living space, which is usually the basement. If there's no steps going to the basement, or if it's like a crawl space or a low ceiling, then the testing is done on the first floor.
And John, I know it's EPA that's actually come up with what they consider to be safe levels of this. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, not really. They come up with an action level, which is 4 picocuries per liter. So it's recommended that action be taken if it's over that level.
Now, how hard is it to fix it? If you come into my house and we find I've got a 2,000 square foot house, 2-story, and I've got high radon levels, I'm getting readings of 50 or 60. What do you do to help me get rid of that?
We use a system, it's called sub-slab depressurization, and it involves usually drilling a hole through the basement floor and taking out some of that material to create a void. And we install piping, a fan goes outside or in the attic, and then it's vented up above roof level. And it actually works very well, even for high levels. Some houses are a little tricky, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to fix with the sub-slab depressurization.
Now, are these systems then, I guess so that fan runs constantly, correct?
Yes, it just runs all the time. The technology with the fans for venting soil gas has a lot of moisture in the soil gas. So the fans are a special technology which the actual rotation of the fan keeps the moisture out of the motor. So they actually just run all the time. If you turn them off, it can actually cause damage to the fan. So it just runs all the time for the life of the fan, which is usually about 10 years or so, and need to be replaced.
So now, in addition to doing the testing, you actually also are available to put systems in. Is that correct?
Yes. We our home inspectors do the testing, and then we have another crew, or several crews of guys that just install the systems as well.
And John, I mean, I know we're just getting a ballpark here. So, in that 2,000 square foot home, it was built, say, 15 years ago. Just a ballpark. How expensive is it to take care of that?
Usually, for the average house, about $800 to $1,000. Depending on factors like is there a crawl space that needs to be covered with plastic, or is there more than one basement, things like that. But yeah, usually about $800 to $1,000 to fix the average house.
And once that system's in and the fans are running, those fans are special fans, right? So it really doesn't cost, I'm told, a whole lot for those systems to actually be running. Yeah,
it sort of depends on the soil, the type of soil, and the size fan that we put on. But usually about $5 to $10 a month. And once again, it depends on the size of the fan and the amount of resistance the fan is getting from the material that's under the house. But about as much as a light bulb.
Hey, John, how you doing? This is Kinglsey. Hey,
morning.
$800 to $1,000 certainly doesn't sound like a lot of money when it comes to talking about radon. But for our listeners out there, can you give us some sort of idea what effects of not having that radon fixed can do to your health, your family, your house?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of literature available through the DEP and the EPA, but it's basically like causes similar damage to you as smoking. So it causes damage to your lungs over a long period of time. So it's very similar to just smoking.
Okay, and as far as the smoke's concerned, this is something there's no sign for. You don't smell it. It's not like you walk into a house and say, "Oh, look at that nice smell of radon in the air today."
Yeah, it's colorless and odorless. So the only way to really know if it's present is to do a test.
Okay, and you do those tests, right?
Yes, we do a lot of them as part of home inspections, and then we also, a lot of people just want to find out if they have radon, so we do testing for homeowners as well.
Fabulous. And is this something that's usually part of a home inspection when somebody's buying, or is that something that's additional?
Yeah, it's an option we have for a home when you're ordering a home inspection. If the radon is in your contract to do the testing as part of the inspection agreement, then we do it as part of that. And sometimes people just call us, they're concerned and they want to get a test done. Homeowners that aren't part of a real estate transaction as well.
And what is the typical cost just for a test?
For a test, it's $145. Now that is discounted if you get a home inspection. We have bundle packages for, if you're bundling it with a home inspection and other services.
Okay. Well, that certainly sounds like an easy add-on for me. I don't think I want to be buying a house with radon just sitting in it.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular option these days. So.
And the systems that you put in, what kind of guarantees? What happens if a system fails? Will you be notified? Is there bells and whistles that go off? What happens in that event?
As part of the system, we put what's called a manometer. It's a little tube that's filled with liquid, and it shows you that the fan's functioning. So that's just a device that the homeowner can look and see if their fan is still running, give you a visual indication that it's running. And then the other thing is it's always recommended, if you do have one of the systems, to test every couple of years just to make sure that it's functioning properly.
Do they have alarms for something like that? Like a smoke alarm, something because I don't know about you, John, but I don't necessarily walk down to my basement and check the radon pump to see if the fan's working on a daily basis. Do they have something to set it off?
Yeah, there are available units that you plug into a receptacle. They're continuous radon monitors that are pretty readily available. You can get them at a hardware store or online and just plug it into a receptacle. It will continually monitor the radon in your house. So they are available for sure.
And I'm sure you have them available as well. So tell me, what's the best way for somebody to contact you if they wanted to get a test done today or this weekend?
The best way to contact us is either through our website, evqharrisburg.com, or our phone number, 717-233-6144.
Okay, and what's that phone number again?
717-233-6144.
Okay. Well, hey, John, I appreciate you coming on. We certainly learned a lot about radon, and it's certainly not something to ignore. So hopefully these guys and the homeowners out there that even have a question, especially with all the statistics and whatnot with lung cancer and cancer in general on the rise, they should be giving you a call at the very least for peace of mind in their home. And I'm sure we're going to have you on in coming weeks as well. So I do thank you for calling in. We're going to go ahead and head to a break right now.
Alrighty, thanks for having me.
Hi, this is Kinglsey Harmer with EquityPrime Mortgage. EquityPrime is excited to announce its grand opening here in Central PA. EquityPrime Mortgage is an aggressive, direct lender licensed in 45 states and D.C. Join me as we discuss different topics such as qualifying, budgeting, and savings, and find out why we are able to offer better rates and qualify more clients. EquityPrime is currently hiring experienced loan officers in the Central PA area. If you feel you are qualified, please call 717-200-4800.
Hi, my name is John Rainville, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New York real estate broker and realtor. I'm your host for Real Estate Radio Guy. Our show is dedicated to local, state, and national real estate topics, trends, and news revolving around central Pennsylvania. We'll discuss the buying and selling process, mortgages, market conditions, property maintenance, commercial and investment real estate, and more. Real Estate Radio Guy is sponsored by EquityPrime Mortgage, Enviroquest Inspections, and SearchHomesInPA.com. Join us every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 on WHYL.
Hi, this is Kinglsey Harmer with EquityPrime Mortgage. EquityPrime is excited to announce its grand opening here in Central PA. EquityPrime Mortgage is an aggressive, direct lender licensed in 45 states and D.C. Join me as we discuss different topics such as qualifying, budgeting, and savings, and find out why we are able to offer better rates and qualify more clients. EquityPrime is currently hiring experienced loan officers in the Central PA area. If you feel you are qualified, please call 717-200-4800.
At family-owned Click Lewis of Palmyra, you're part of the family. Get $2,000 over Kelly Blue Book on all trade-ins. That's any vehicle. Take a test drive and you have a chance to win Keith Urban tickets or Hershey Bears tickets. All certified pre-owned vehicles include a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for free. Visit ClickLewisCars.com for your next new or certified vehicle. Click Lewis at 720 East Main Street, Palmyra, where cars cost less.
Click Lewis in Palmyra. Buick Chevrolet. Click Lewis.
And we're back. Boy, we've got a lot thrown at us today. There's a lot to this process of buying a home, John. And sometimes you just got to wonder, where do you start? And as mentioned before, I think the first thing you want to do is to have a budget in mind, know what you can afford, what you can't afford. And one of the first things you want to do is obviously get a pre-approval with a mortgage company. You can give me a call at 200-4800. That's EquityPrime Mortgage. And in order to do that, you wonder, okay, well, what do I need in order to be pre-approved? Well, there's a lot of do's and don'ts that come with the pre-approval process. And the first thing I can say is keep all your records in good order. A mortgage company is going to ask for more than you think. It's not just about what your credit score is and how much you make. There's more to it than that. This is one of the biggest purchases of your life. And, they're going to ask you, your job history, your housing history, whether or not you've been working in the same field for, a certain specific period of time. So, let's say, for example, last year you were a insurance salesman, and this year you decided to become a brain surgeon. Kind of a big jump, but in that particular aspect, I'm sure we would probably work with you, knowing that you've got that much more of income. But here's just a couple of things that you want to have ready to do a pre-qualify. We're going to check your credit. We're going to ask you a series of questions that may take maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And then we have the time to discuss, the different types of mortgages, the terms of the mortgages, how much you can afford. So to be prepared, you want to have a few things available. Number one is about 30 days worth of recent pay stubs. And that would be for you, your spouse, or significant other. If you happen to be purchasing a home with somebody else, you're going to want 2 years of your W-2s. If you're self-employed, you're going to want 2 years of your 1040s. That's going to include all schedules as well. Assets, obviously a big question and topic that we'll dive into in the coming weeks, is how much you need down. So you're going to want a copy of your assets, bank statements, 401k statements. You may be getting a gift from your grandfather, and is that allowed, and how much is allowed? Which is another thing that we can go over when getting pre-qualified for a mortgage. Your current residence, are you renting? Are you renting from your dad, or are you renting from a
Complex?
Yeah, a complex. These are big things that can you verify it, that go a long way with not only getting approved, but also, what type of rates are available for you. And then the other thing that you want to make sure is to keep your credit shining. As you're buying a home, make your payments on time. Make your payments on time. Credit's obviously another big topic that we're going to dive into in the coming weeks, as well as what not to do when purchasing a home. So, if you've got any questions on the pre-quals, please give me a call, 717-200-4800, and we're going to go ahead and shoot it over to John here.
Well, if you're thinking about buying a home, are you starting to dread having to walk through strangers' houses? Are you concerned about getting the paperwork correct? Hiring a professional real estate agent or a realtor can take that away, most of the challenges of buying. A great agent's always worth more than the commission that they charge. And here in Pennsylvania, if they work as a buyer's agent, that money's actually coming from the seller. So it's not typically pennies out of your pocket. There's just 4 top demands you might want to know about that you want to make sure you hold your realtor to. You want to make sure that they tell you the truth about the price. Too many agents just take your offer at any price and then try to work both you and the seller to get the deal put together. And you want to make your agent show you their plan to get both the seller and the bank to accept that price. Have them do a CMA or a market analysis on that property before you put the offer in. I mean, I know you hear, knock 5, 10, 15, 20% off. each house is different. In the overall area here, most homes sell within 3 to 5% of the asking price. We're not like some of these markets where you're seeing huge discounts. Too many agents just make your offer, put an offer in at any price, and then they try to work it later after, like, the home inspection. You don't want to do that. You want to be right up front with the seller. You want them to be treated just like you would want to be treated. And you want your agent to understand what your family's timetable is. I mean, is your lease coming up? What is it? You have a new baby coming into the household, kids moving, out because they're going to college or they graduated from college. Make sure your realtor understands what your timetable is. And then remove as many of the challenges as possible. Make sure you go ahead and get pre-approved by that lender so that you're ready to buy. And then get out there and find the right house. If it doesn't feel like the right house when you're there, maybe it's not. Most buyers know when they walk in the front door whether that's the home for them. Don't stretch and try to make it something that it isn't, because it can be something then that you won't like down the road. Good agents know how to deliver good news. Great agents know how to deliver tough news. In today's market, you need a great realtor. That's what I want to say about that. I want to let you know starting next week, we're going to start to give out Harrisburg Comedy Zone tickets every week. They're over there at Boomerangs at Lime Kiln Road and 83, right there off of the Turnpike. So we're going to have call-ins so that you'll be able to do that starting next week. Next week, we also have Bill Frundell and his wife Louise, who represent Winding Hills community with E.G. Stoltzfus. So you'll be able to find out about that fantastic project there in Upper Allen. A little bit lower price than what we were talking about today, a little bit more affordable type range for the average person. We're also going to be talking again with John Staz on some home inspection issues. His upcoming shows, we're going to be having John Esser on, who's the new president of the Greater Harrisburg Association of Realtors, to discuss what a realtor is. A lot of I know you out there in the public don't understand. But that's some of where we're going for the next week's show.
All right. Well, another great show, John. Hey, next week, please, guys, when you have questions, call into the radio show. 249-1787. We're here to take your phone calls. We're here to answer your questions. You can also jump on our Facebook page, The Real Estate Radio Guy. You can also jump on my Facebook page. That's EquityPrime PA, or Twitter account at EquityPrime PA. Again, jump on our pages. The Real Estate Radio Guy. Ask us questions ahead of time. So we've got those ahead of time. We can answer your questions. We can dive into them. If you want specific call-ins, or if you want John or myself to call, please leave us a message. Call into the radio show during it. And we'll be happy to help you out. Another great show. I look forward to next week with John and some tickets. See you next week.
Buying or selling a home? For professional home inspection, call Enviroquest of Harrisburg. Their certified home inspectors will conduct a thorough inspection and provide a detailed report with many pictures. They'll explain the findings. Do you have elevated radon levels in your house? Call Enviroquest. They have fixed over 10,000 homes over the last 25 years. For a professional home inspection or radon mitigation, call Enviroquest at 233-6144, 233-6144, or visit Enviroquest online at evqharrisburg.com. That's evqharrisburg.com.
Hi, this is Kinglsey Harmer with EquityPrime Mortgage. EquityPrime is excited to announce its grand opening here in Central PA. EquityPrime Mortgage is an aggressive, direct lender licensed in 45 states and D.C. Join me as we discuss different topics such as qualifying, budgeting, and savings, and find out why we are able to offer better rates and qualify more clients. EquityPrime is currently hiring experienced loan officers in the Central PA area. If you feel you are qualified, please call 717-200-4800.
Hi, my name is John Rainville, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New York real estate broker and realtor. I'm your host for Real Estate Radio Guy. Our show is dedicated to local, state, and national real estate topics, trends, and news revolving around central Pennsylvania. We'll discuss the buying and selling process, mortgages, market conditions, property maintenance, commercial and investment real estate, and more. Real Estate Radio Guy is sponsored by EquityPrime Mortgage, Enviroquest Inspections, and SearchHomesInPA.com. Join us every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 on WHYL.
Hi, this is Kinglsey Harmer with EquityPrime Mortgage. EquityPrime is excited to announce its grand opening here in Central PA. EquityPrime Mortgage is an aggressive, direct lender licensed in 45 states and D.C. Join me as we discuss different topics such as qualifying.